Hi everyone, it's Ryan McAllister from Trinity Lutheran Church. I had the pleasure and joy of sharing the message this last weekend. We talked about victory in Christ, how God takes the unlikely and He makes certain victory, and how He's able to look through an eternal perspective, and how we can shift ourselves and our limited human perspective to be one that is more aligned with God and His plan and will for our lives and for the world. And one thing that kind of was a theme was, okay, well, how do we, moving forward for this theme of extra fruit, how do we take this to the next step? And I touched briefly about 3/4 of the way through just on one of the most important things, and that is deepening and growing our relationship with God and His Son, Jesus Christ. So in order to do this, we have to be in prayer. We have to be in the Word. First and foremost. And then as we grow in our knowledge of who God is, what He has done, it's going to influence how we view the world, how we view our circumstances, and we're able to take a step back and maybe not look so much at the things of this world, but be able to have more of an eternal perspective. I don't want people to be discouraged and think, well, you know, Pastor Tom was someone who was already a pastor, and Frank's mom is someone who was at the end of her life and struggling with cancer. That's not me. It takes extraordinary circumstances to really, find that extra gear of being close to God, and that's just not true. Now, I think, and I don't know from experience, obviously, but dealing with a disease like cancer or something like ALS, I think it forces you in some ways to have to think about things in more of an eternal perspective, but that doesn't mean that we're incapable. And that's where I think if we can learn more about God, His nature, who He is as an eternal being, His love for us, and the amazing sacrifice of His Son, I think that we can really learn what it means to step back and see the victory that God has for us. Because as we look at the Bible, that victory isn't just something we see in the New Testament. That really is an overarching message. It's a long narrative in the story of God and His creation of us, creation of the world, our fall due to our sinfulness, and then the restoration that God planned, prophesied, and fulfilled all the way through in Jesus Christ. So I hope that's encouraging to you. I'd really encourage you to take some time in prayer and just dig into the Word and see what God says to you and what you can find out about Him and His Son, Jesus Christ. Blessings.